Hi there, students. In this short video, we're going to take a look at what would have been in your kit if the bookstore had been able to get the kits. We're going to look at the materials that you can adapt and use if you weren't able to get the kit, which the bookstore I don't think has. And we're also going to make a little test page of using your materials that we will be able to photograph in the next video. So to start with, we've got some paper. We've got drawing paper, and I made sure to get a smaller size of drawing paper than usual. Usually we'd use 18 by 24. Yeah, 18 by 24 paper. But since we're going to be photographing all our work, I decided let's get something smaller so it's easier to photograph. So it's 11 by 14. And I've got a drawing, I'm going to use as my sketch pad, and you can use any sketch pad that you have at your disposal. We're going to make a little test paper. I've done a few of these, and I would recommend taking the paper out of the pad so that when you're using wet media, it doesn't leak through onto other paper. So I already have a piece of paper right here that I'm going to be using, and we're going to take a look at the things that would have been in your kit. So there's one little plastic bag full of stuff, and this was torn apart by my cat. So unfortunately, I don't have the packaging, but this is the stuff that would have been in your little pencil pack. There are 3 graphite pencils. The hardnesses are HB, 2B, and 4B. I would love to put a 6B in there. I like dark pencils. You can use any graphite pencils that you have. In the kit that we ordered, there's also a layout pencil, a general's layout pencil, and this is a nice extra black, very soft pencil, kind of like a 6B. And then there are these 2 charcoal pencils, so feel free to use any charcoal that you might have. There is a plastic eraser, nice white plastic eraser. There is a sharpener, and there's a blending stump. So a few things that were in this little kit, and you can feel free to kind of use whatever you want. I also got a Sharpie art pen. So this art pen is it's just a finer point than a regular Sharpie. So it's more like a ballpoint pen. So I'm going to start by just making a few little marks with my Sharpie art pen. And this is going to be a test paper. So I want to make sure that I don't spend too much time on this. You don't need to show me that you're Leonardo da Vinci on this paper. Just play around, and it's a chance for us to just kind of take a look at what you have, practice photographing. So I'm going to make some marks with my layout pencil, just some scribbles. And let's add some charcoal here. Smudge things around a little bit. You can see I'm being fast and loose here. This is not a fancy dancy drawing. So let's take a look at the other supplies that I would have had in the kit. I like these nylon brushes. So I have an assortment here of nylon brushes. The ones that I got for your kit were very inexpensive. And the reason that I like these, sometimes they're called Taklon nylon brushes. The substance is very similar. It's a synthetic brush. And very, very wispy and very, very light but sturdy. The reason that I like these brushes is that you can get a very inexpensive brush that does a nice job doing what you need it to do. So I've got some in water as well. And okay, so I've got some water over here. And so here's a nice round brush. And I've got some flat brushes. You can have itty bitty teeny tiny brushes. I've just got these medium brushes that I'm going to play around with. So watercolors that I got for your kit are these Faber-Castell kind, and other kinds that I would recommend. Prang makes a nice watercolor. And I love these little twist-offable Koh-i-Noor watercolors. I'm going to stay in the green family just to avoid too much wild colorness, but feel free to go wild with what you've got. I've got a paper towel here. I've got my brushes. I'm going to use this round brush, put it in the water and drench my, put some water on my watercolors. I did this a little bit earlier, and so they're probably going to be still a little bit wet, which is great. So here I can mix some blue and some green, and I can have a place that's very washy. I can have a place where kind of playing around with wispy little pieces. Let's get some yellow on there. Yellow making the green more yellowy. So more lime green, more yellowish green. So I've got some color there. Let's get some of this as well. Just play around. So just getting some color just so that I have a little test sheet to play around with. And so that's the watercolor. Of course, when we actually work with this stuff to make something that looks nice, we'll get more in depth about techniques and all that kind of stuff. So the last thing that I want to talk about is the dry media that we have. I had ordered these woodless colored pencils that come in a container kind of like this. And they come with a little sharpener and a little eraser. I was all excited about them, but then I tried them. I don't feel as though they're much more waxy than I was expecting and a bit lighter than I really wanted to have in the kit. I do like that they can make a big, huge, broad area of color. That's really cool. So they're much more crayon-like, but I think that, you know, it's kind of good that the bookstore didn't get them, because there are other substances out there. So feel free to get these. They're going to be great if you have them. But you can also make the choice to get some Prismacolor, where is the top. So we have these Prismacolor pencils, and I generally advise people who are on a budget, which I'm always a budget shopper. So it's not that I think you're all on a budget. I am always on a budget. I advise people to maybe, if they are on a budget, get a set of 12 Prismacolor and then supplement those with a big case, array of like Crayola color pencils or some cheaper color pencils, because then you have a big variety. But you can do whatever with blending. And you'll see that these Prismacolored pencils are very vibrant. So you can make a line that's extremely dark, and but you can also have nice and light. So if I've got some greens, and then I can kind of blend. Blending is the secret to everything with color, because otherwise you just have red and green, but you want all of those varieties. That's what makes things fun. So play around, see what you can get, and just see, you know, without any knowledge or trying to do anything, just make a little test paper that we can then photograph in our next video.